Good morning, everybody. Welcome back to your daily tarot reading for Saturday, November 23rd, 2019. Hope you guys are all having a good Saturday. Maybe you've got some plans going on. Maybe you're in a process of making plans. But let's see what the energy for today is going to be all about. What we want to keep in mind, maybe some strategies we want to put in play, and maybe some things we want to do to change some of the actions we have to make this day even more efficient, more effective, and a heck of a lot more fun. All right, so I think we're pretty much set with shuffling the cards. We'll do a couple more shuffles. Whoops, and that's it. All right, so let's put down the first pile. And let's see the second pile here. And finally, the third pile, right? All right, so I'm kind of thinking this first pile I'm really drawn to. So let's see what we have for a card. All right, we have the Two of Swords. So let's talk a bit about the Two of Swords, some of the things we want to keep in mind, as well as some of the strategies you want to go forward with. So as I've been doing, let's start off thinking about some keywords that we want to keep in mind for the energy for today. Some things we want to maybe do actions on, look out for, that sort of thing. It's a minor arcana card, so it's all about our responses to situations. The first thing that comes off is potentially a stalemate, sitting on a fence, not really making progress one way or the other, just sort of sitting on a fence and trying to decide exactly what it is you want to do. Wanted to get a little drink there. Maybe being on the crossroads even. Right now, you may have a couple of really difficult decisions to make or painful choices. Maybe you're being torn between two different things, two different people, two different situations. You don't know which way to go, that sort of thing. You may have a decision to make that's really creating a lot of stresses for you. Maybe you're facing some opposition. Maybe even you're facing some of your fears. And if that's the case, that's a good thing. Even though it's scary, it's good to face fears, because you can conquer those, you can get over them, and at that point in time, they're no longer going to be fears. And of course, it also could mean that you're actually literally stuck in the middle of a situation, the middle of two people. Maybe you're, because you're blindfolding yourself, keeping your eyes closed, you're not able to see the actual truth of the situation. So you could be in denial. And you could have an unwillingness to actually see the truth. You could know exactly what's going on. However, you just don't want to admit to it. So when we look at the general context of it all, it's all about where you are right now. You could be in the middle, as I said, of a situation that you're torn between two different sides. You could be in denial over something. You could be in a situation right now where you have the opportunity to face your fears, yet you're holding yourself back. You could also be blocking some emotions, or someone could be blocking their emotions to you. When we look at it from a love and a relationship standpoint, a lot of times it means this could be a potential stalemate, or the relationship, whether it be friends or intimate, could be at a crossroads right now. You're not really sure which direction you want to take everything. It could be that you've been having some disagreements more recently and more frequently, and can't agree on important decisions. And at this stage of the game, it'd be a good idea to call a temporary truce, look at things and revisit the pros and cons on the matter, and come up with an amicable agreement that both you guys can live with. And as I said, I say relationships, but that's a human relationship. I'm not just talking about boyfriend, girlfriend, husband, wife, husband, wife, anything like that. It's all about the specifics. When we look at the money or the career aspect of the card, you could be caught in, and this is kind of tongue-in-cheek comical, but you could be caught in the middle of a conflict at work. You could be involved in a conflict at work. And two colleagues may be wanting you to pick their side. If that's the case, there's no winners in anything like that. First off, if people are asking you to pick their side, that's just not right to begin with. You go with whatever energy and whatever direction you choose you want to go into. You may be really stressed by all of this because you don't want to seem to be disloyal, but then again, you don't want to be picking sides. And no one should ever have to pick a side if it's presented to them as they have to. So long story short, you may want to get yourself removed from that situation a little bit further. And you may want to play the adult in the room and say, hey, I'm not picking sides. You two figure it out for yourselves. I like both you guys equally. I like working with both you guys equally. So there's different aspects and different strategies that you can do to make it a little bit better for you. But long story short, if you are feeling like you're stuck in a situation, take a step back. Look at the situation. Literally look at it, because you may not be looking at it correctly. You may not be looking at it at all. And you may feel like you're stuck and you're spinning wheels, but the reality of it is you do have your way out. If you're stuck in the middle of a situation, get yourself away from it and let the situation resolve itself. If it doesn't need your input, you don't need to put your input into it. And certainly, it's not like tag team wrestling. You don't have to tag into one side if two other adults are having a disagreement. If you've been having some recent disagreements in your relationship, at this stage of the game, take a step back, call a truce, try to work things out to the better of both of you. And long story short, you have the power to make this a fantastic day and a fantastic weekend, and I hope you do. And until tomorrow, I hope you're all well. I hope you stay happy, healthy, and be blessed.